Welcome to part 4 of the Sonic Generations commentary. We're done Speed Highway, but let's go on to the level that almost everybody had a nerdgasm when it was officially revealed in E3.
Particularly me.
Because we all totally didn't see it coming.
The majestic level, the level everyone's been waiting for, the one that everyone wants to play, question mark.
Woo! I think that they did pick the best level choice. For me, it was either this or Final Rush, but, you know, I'm happy anyway, because Sonic Adventure 2 is still my favorite Sonic game, and just seeing this, it's just like, oh my god, fangasm. Ryan was actually talking to me while I was playing this for the first time, and I even freaked out about the fact that they had the gun boxes there. I'm such a fanboy.
Hang on. A boarding segment that actually works.
What the fuck is this?
It's actually one of the best boarding segments in 3D Sonic.
It really is. It handles great.
It handles really well. It's a lot better than the one in the original City Escape, I would say. Partly because the board is easier to control, mostly because it just has a lot more interesting, a lot more in terms of level design to give you.
It's you know, in my opinion, it's just so much more open-ended, this version of it.
Yeah.
I just cut out for the last 40 seconds, so I'm not sure if you guys have talked about the remix of the song.
Nope.
It's awesome. I love it. This is one of my favorite remixes in the game. The singing's perfect. They incorporate a bit of the SA2 version of It Doesn't Matter into the guitar riff at one point. I love it. Fangasm.
For me, I love it because they. This is also because they brought back Ted Poley and Tony Harnell, and in the original, Tony Harnell, who is my favourite singer of all time, he sang both versions of It Doesn't Matter. He just literally just does the backing. He doesn't do that much in it, but in this version, it's more like 50-50 in terms of like who gets to sing lead. And I just love it because, in my opinion, like Ted Poley, he's a pretty decent singer, but when you put him next to Tony Harnell, he just sounds like shit.
Yeah, you know how you can change the songs in the actual levels to whatever the unlockable songs you unlock? I will never change City Escape. I will always leave it City Escape.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know what? Because I
can't change a song.
One time, I did experiment that I replaced it with Sonic Boom, but it's like, nah, this just doesn't feel the same.
This is actually
just the perfect song for this level.
This is actually Jun Chinoy's favourite song that he's composed. Well, this and Live and Learn are what he always touts as his favourite song. Because when I interviewed him at SOS, he said this was his favourite song because everybody loves this song. You know, like,
well, Sonic Adventure 2
holy shit, song, man.
soundtrack.
If I can be honest, the gun truck is a little bit too long in this level than it is in the original City Escape. It goes on for like a full minute, and I wish it was a little bit shorter.
It's also incredibly automated. I'm doing nothing but holding X and hitting left and right.
But I mean, like, well, I think, well, for me, like modern, unlike classic, modern has always had an element of just like visual impressiveness to his levels, which, you know, and to me, this is one of the best set pieces in the entire game.
I mean, he's driving on roofs of buildings. I mean, this truck driver is badass.
He's driving this truck. It's amazing.
I love
the gun truck. Literally pop out
rocket boosters, and it's driving along the wall.
Transforms there, like Optimus Prime is pissed.
Someone's been watching Batman and Robin, damn it.
Yeah, it's like, you remember that grappling hook that allowed the Batmobile to ride up buildings? Sonic Generations takes that and runs with it.
Wait a minute, wasn't that Batman Forever?
No, that was Batman.
It was Batman Forever.
It wasn't
one of the Joel Schumacher movies.
It had Joel Schumacher directing, and that's all that matters.
One of those movies.
That really says it all. But I didn't want to talk over anyone, but I wanted to say, you know, I like the City Escape song, but I'm probably the only one here who can say that I'm not that big a fan of it.
Get out.
No.
Get out.
Braid Scratch Cons. We respect other people's opinions. Lewis, what the fuck's the matter with you?
Turn in your fan card and get the fuck out.
Oh, classic City Escape. I love this level.
It's lots of fun, yes.
You know, it's actually a bit more expansive than it looked like in the video reveals.
I will say this probably has, in terms of every level in the game, both classic and modern, this has the single greatest gimmick. Of just, the truck.
Holy
just
shit, truck.
Just the fuck with you. It's hilarious.
I do love the wanted and missing posters scattered throughout the level.
which-
It's like,
yeah,
at least Sega knows they exist.
I like the Mighty Bean one. It's like Mighty the Armadillo and Bean the Dynamite, missing since 1993.
No,
I thought that
it's
was
Mighty
nice.
and Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Same thing, whatever.
You see,
Apparently, he used to be the community manager, Kevin Eva, AAUK, back when he worked at Sega of Europe. Apparently, those were his idea. Apparently, he actually told Sega they should put some billboards in the background, and actually wrote the Mighty and Knack the Weasel one. So apparently, we have Kevin Eva to thank for those.
Thank you.
Yes,
You
thank
got
you.
the. It's right there.
Damn it, Johnny!
Although I will say though, my favorite Easter egg poster is the one in Speed Highway.
God, oh God.
Yes. the one in Speed Highway Classic. That's Chow in space to search for Takal. That just made me laugh.
Yeah.
That made me laugh
My
so
favorite
hard.
one is in Crisis City, where they have sort of a burnt down poster of Chow in Space 3, and I'm like, that's awesome.
I guess nobody liked Chow in Space 3.
I like the chaotic. I like the Chaotix Detective Agency one where it's like, you don't want us. What was it?
Are you sure you want to know? Which is
Yes, that's it.
the weirdest thing ever.
hey, wait, hang on. Did you just get pushed along by the truck just now?
Yeah.
Yes.
That happens to me every time.
Yeah.
Well, what I was trying to... Well, obviously, I can't outrun the damn thing. I was trying to spin dash before it got too close, but it gimped.
This truck is out for blood.
Is there a reason why this truck is so pissed off?
Well, now it's
how did
over
we
there.
get up there so quickly?
You know what?
Bomb.
Well, you know, I will say that Gun is doing a perfect, amalgamation of the American government. They're clearly killing hundreds of people and destroying $1 million worth of property damage just to get one person. Bravo, Gun! Bravo.
Failing at it and failing at it.
Yeah.
Don't forget that
Twice.
part.
They failed twice, dude.
I mean, that truck has rocket boosters. How much taxpayer money went into that thing, and it just blew up?
I wonder if it's gonna be like Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, where they can somehow manage to cover up a gigantic robot destroying the whole fucking highway.
Oh, hey, Rouge, you sound more like a woman now.
I don't want to put too much on it or bring this commentary down a bit. But did anyone else notice that when Rouge is frozen, her mouth is wide open? I wonder what she was doing.
Oh, don't even go there.
And she calls modern Sonic Big Blue. There must be a reason for that.
Isn't that her
If you know what I mean.
nickname?
If you know what I mean.
Isn't that his nickname from like Chronicles or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think she calls him that in Sonic Battle, too, but it's been a while, so I don't really remember.
I think Sonic and Rouge have like one scene together in battle. Although to be fair, I what?
My immersion's ruined.
Welcome to classic Seaside Hill.
I
Oh,
do
we're
like
gonna
that
have
they,
fun in this.
I do like that they included the fans here and showed off exactly how
Okay,
much.
now we have the bubble shield. Yay.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
Get like oodles and oodles of air from this.
If you have the bubble shield equipped without athleticism equipped, you get a fuck ton of air.
Without athleticism, why is that?
Athleticism affects the bounce. Yes, it does. Especially when you're underwater.
I wonder what we're trying to do here.
I wonder what I'm trying to do too. Alright, spin dash
Skipping
to
the level?
victory.
That's
into the
awesome.
cannon.
That's awesome.
I didn't know you could do
Sonic
that.
is Jesus!
Wait, what?
The level forgot to load.
Oh, I get it. We skipped the part of the level where it loads the models for everything in the next section. So we're basically playing. This is the same. This is the same glitch that occurs during like the world record Eggman Land speedruns.
Yeah.
This isn't Crisis City. What the hell?
It has to do with the way the Hedgehog engine works.
Yeah.
Basically, when you get to certain places in the level, it'll load up the next section for
We
you.
skipped the level checkpoint. And because of that, this entire section is completely invisible. I first encountered this in Modern Sky Sanctuary.
Well, I mean, I can understand why this happens because, you know, if you were to load up the entire level all at once, the loading time would probably take over a minute, and it would probably cause a lot more slowdown. But I mean, still, look at this.
This is great. This is hilarious.
Well, the designers just need to be more careful about where they make the levels load up. Whoa!
Oops.
What was that?
Failure!
I was so intrigued by the invisible layout, I had to go back and see.
It still doesn't load.
It still doesn't load.
It still doesn't load now.
It's weird though, because on the stadium, I saw a lot of people would post about how Seaside Hill is horribly glitchy, and I'd be like, "What? There's nothing wrong with Seaside Hill." But now looking at this, I can see that it really is.
Oh, wait.
Now, this sort of emphasizes a problem I have.
Wait.
The whale missed you! Oh, by the way, it's nice to see another pack of whales that doesn't want to eat Sonic for some reason.
Little pack of whales.
No, you see, the whales just managed to have their coffee this morning, so they're in a much better mood when they saw Sonic as opposed to Adventure 1 in 06.
What?
Oh yeah, there's an underwater section there. You didn't notice?
That whole section, I honestly feel like I just taken acid. Because it was just making no sense. It was like, what the hell is going on?
Level memorization 4 to win. Oh, by the way, the spike glitch can appear here.
Yeah, it is.
It's Hydrocity Zone.
Hydrocity.
I was thinking more, I got more of a Labyrinth Zone vibe.
Wait.
Yeah.
Labyrinth Zone used that kind of section to better effect, but it was in Hydrocity too. Hydrocity, sorry.
Whoa.
Enunciation.
Did I actually just say Hydrocity?
Yes.
Yes,
I never say. I always say Hydro City. I have no idea why to say it. I take the back. Fuck Hydrocity. I always say Hydro City.
I always call it Hydrocity Zone.
I always called it the water level in Sonic 3.
But you're boring.
And Tom calls it Hydrocity, and for that reason and that reason alone, I call it Hydro City, because fuck you, Entom.
I call it Hydro City because ninjas.
Classic finger wag.
Oh, you didn't get an S rank.
Because it's not his fault, the level didn't load.
You can't really blame him for that one now, can you?
No, I really got
He
an
did go
S rank,
backwards
didn't load
once he got to the safe part.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, S ranks are extremely easy to get in this game. You just have to do a decent run without dying, and you're almost guaranteed one. They're a bit harder during certain challenge missions, but for the regular levels, they're pretty easy to get.
No, I love this. I thought Seaside Hill Modern was awesome.
Why are you showing this?
I accidentally pressed confirm.
It's like Gabe Horror all over again.
Actually, that's one thing I don't like about the wall jumping in Generations. You can only jump on certain walls this time around.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Not like every other wall.
On that note, Seaside Hill really fucks with you for that reason, because you can wall jump off of certain things, namely moving pieces of wall that you wouldn't think you would be able to, because by this point in the game trains you to only wall jump off walls with red panels, and they give you no indication that you can wall jump off those things until you accidentally wall jump into one, slide down the wall, and then realize 3 seconds later, oh, I could have jumped off that.
Oh, you didn't get that right.
How did you miss
that? I will say that, like, this, I think that the original Seaside Hill was one of my favourite tracks from Hills, and I love the fact that June Snowy mixes in Ocean Palace.
Yeah.
But I will say though, to me, this mix actually sounds inferior to both of the original versions.
Well, they sound almost identical to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it is kind of weird how like a lot of the June Sonoy like remixes of his own work like this and Speed Highway, they sound so similar to the original. It was like, what was the point in even remixing them?
I figured he let Cash do the classical arrangements to get the touch of variety.
Yeah, I think I read that most of the classics were done by other people, and the modern remixes were done by, if they still worked at Sega, were done by them. So like Rooftop Run and Crisis City were done by Tomio Otani. Planet Wisp was done by Kenichi Toko.
Oh, fuck the Planet Risk remixes.
I hate that remix, but I'll explain why.
The modern's okay, the classic not so much.
The classic one sucks, and it's a disappointment because that was one of my favorite songs in Colors.
Well, you know what? You know what's really weird about the remix? You know how like when Jun Sonoy was announced to be sound director, everyone was like, "Oh man," you know, good people. Cause I love Jun Sonoy's music, but some people who don't like him, and it's like he's just gonna add a bunch of bot rock guitars into every modern remix ever. And the thing is that you know, if you actually count up the tracks, I would say modern actually probably has less guitars per track than classic does.
Than classic does, yeah. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it's just weird, but you know. Also, as soon as you leave the Mega Drive era, the classic remixes.
Failure.
What the hell was that? That was terrible.
No, you probably could have air boosted onto the water and saved yourself just now.
But I didn't.
So he died.
Fuck you. That's why. But yeah, once you leave the Mega Drive era, the classic remixes stop sounding Mega Drive-ish. I mean, I know obviously because there wasn't any actual Mega Drive music for those levels, but I kind of
level. Thanks. Sorry. Go ahead.
I kind of wish that for the consistency of the sound, they would have actually made like Mega Drive sounding remixes for the originals, just so they would have all fit together.
You know, ironically, I think that's what they were trying to do with Planet Whisk Classic, and it sucks.
What am I doing driving a car?
And that's why Sonic Drift sucks.
A lot of people say this handles better than it does in Heroes. I like it better in Heroes.
I like it better in Heroes.
Really? To me, it handles like shit in Heroes.
This handles much better in here than in Sonic Heroes.
I'm going to side with FTA and Johnny on this. I loved this go-kart.
It actually feels like fun to control.
Heroes was fun.
I'm not saying Heroes wasn't fun. It's just this controls better.
I didn't like the go-kart at all.
Hi, Ocean Palace.
Well, I'm glad they put the Ocean Palace stuff in here because it makes Seaside Hill a lot less bland.
And you're gonna miss the top route.
Fuck.
No.
Failure. Bastards.
Those things close permanently. You don't miss it if you don't get it the first time. You pretty much have
back up.
Can you scroll back and will it?
No, it won't. It won't open up again.
Okay, because like Seaside Hill's one of the levels that replayed the least, just cause.
Fun fact.
And so I don't know a lot of the alternate paths and
such. Fun fact: the final red ring in this stage right here gave me the hardest fucking time of all the
top route. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We just passed something that pissed me the fuck off. When you go down the bottom route, you have to launch yourself out of a cannon to get back up here, and you land on this extremely thin piece of land that you think is a rail. It's actually not a rail. It's just a thin piece of land that you can stand and walk on normally. So you're inevitably going to fall back off. It's like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Hence why I take the top route.
There goes the Dreamcast era, even though Heroes wasn't on Dreamcast.
A funny story about Sonic Heroes, actually.
It sucks.
Around the time Sonic Heroes came, well, not even talking about the game. It's like how good of a game it was. Around the time Heroes came out, that was around the time Sonic X was on TV, and so there was this contest to see. Like, you enter this contest on the website, you can win. Like 100 people randomly win a copy of the game. So I'm like, hey, cool, I'll just enter that. So I ended up winning, but the thing is that I won the PlayStation 2 version of the game, which I didn't own. So I ended up having to give that copy to my cousin, and I ended up having to buy a GameCube copy for myself.
Well, you're better for that because the GameCube is the superior version.
Oh, it is. It is. Well, speaking about that, when this came out, I had a GameCube and a PS2, but I wanted it on a PS2, so it would go with my SA1 and SA2 games. So I remember the day it came out, my mother picked it up for me, but she picked up the PS2 version, and she said, "Well, if you want, I can take it back and get you the GameCube version on Monday." But I was like, well, I can either play a lot of it and then have to restart on the GameCube version, or just keep it on the PS2. And I kept it on the PS2, but I wish the fuck I had changed, because the GameCube version is so, but it's not even funny. It's not even funny how better the GameCube version is.
How exactly is it better?
The frame rate's terrible.
The frame rate's terrible on the PS2
Everything's
version.
smoother. It runs smoother. It looks better. Like the graphics look better. I mean, like the GameCube version has like it's a very small point, but like the GameCube version has proper shadows for every character. The PS2 version just has circles for everyone. It runs. It's so much smoother. You would think it's on like the next. You would think it's playing on like a 360 compared to a PS2. Just in terms of how different it plays. It's mind-boggling. Really is.
Huh. So how about that brain scratch logo?
Still on fire.
I see what you did there.
Well played. Well played.